Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Welcome back to our blind playthrough of Blueprints, going into day 104. Let's go! I am full of excitement for today. I have some exciting things to report to you. I'm always so thrilled when I can say that at the beginning of an episode. I'm also very happy because I've just eaten a delicious delicious Italian biscuit that was orange and poppy seed. Oh, it was really good. I actually went and visited like a little old Italian place in my neighborhood that I've not been to because we're relatively new to this neighborhood before, so it's my first time there. And they have lovely Italian sweets, and so this first one that I've tried, very good. Anyway, the coffee, I'm gonna say average. I'm going to say so, but the sweets, very nice. So that's also very good. Pixel is running around behind me looking for, he's had his treats now, so he's, we scatter them around the house for him to go and find them. And so he's running around looking for more. So we're all like sort of happy and fed, and I'm very happy to be back in Blueprints. All right. Okay, so as always, I've been doing a little puzzling. In fact, with the recent events in this game, I've been doing a lot of puzzling. And as you know, I've been doing a lot of revising of, I'm trying to kind of go back through everything and, rethink it, or revisit it and go, does this mean something to me now? Et cetera, et cetera. I have told you that I had the wonderful revelation that 3 of the mysterious notes that I've found in this mansion are connected in some way that I still haven't figured out, but they're connected. They're all anagrams of each other, and they all involve an anti-clockwise swirl. That's as far as I've gotten, but that was extremely exciting. So let me tell you a couple of things that I've progressed. I think I've progressed with since then. One of the things I've been going over again, because I've always known, there's stuff I'm missing from what we find in room 46, from the deed and from the will. And, again, I've revisited them sort of, here and there. But this time revisiting them with, I suppose, the other stuff I've revisited, I've realized a couple of things. Firstly, I've realized that this was a really exciting realization, though I don't know what to do with it yet. I've realized that the will contains the phrase that we find in the schoolhouse within a timely manner, with manner spelt like MANOR. That just escaped me the first time I was going over it, but I actually went back. I actually watched the footage of me coming across the will in room 46 for the first time again. And so it was sort of like me watching myself go through it slowly while I, future Rebecca was watching me and going through the will again at the same time and going so that's how I thought about it. But hang on, I noticed this now. So that was kind of an interesting exercise. So I know that these 2 phrases now, that the schoolhouse is referencing this phrase that's in the will. Are they both referencing something else? I'm not sure, but they have the same phrase within them. Mary wrote the thing in the schoolhouse, presumably Herbert wrote the will. I don't know what it means yet still. However, what was kind of incredibly frustrating about watching that footage back is that I had the magnifying glass. I was using it on all of the pages. However, I swung that magnifying glass around on that page and I looked at everything except that phrase. So it's probably not a magnifying glass thing. However, of course, the next time I get the opportunity, I do have to try that. It drove me crazy. I was clicking through the frames, no, come on. And the magnifying glass goes under the phrase. It goes over the phrase, and I don't actually look at it. So I do need to check that out. It's probably not a magnifying glass thing, but it's just on my list of things to check off. All right. For me, much more exciting than that, and I don't know if this is true or not either. This is a theory. However, I just feel really good about this theory so far. The thing that really stuck out to me like a sore thumb this time when I was going through the will. So first off, I was thinking again, like I had this big question, like where are the manuscripts that are mentioned? And I was, I was looking at the way it's phrased, that they're talking about that the manuscripts were produced here, under the roof of Mary's childhood home, and, then more explicitly, talks about it being the house, or at least the estate, I think is the phrasing actually, wrote on the estate, yeah. So I'm kind of like, what is this language telling me? What is this paragraph here telling me about this? And I got to something that has bugged me many times before when I've gone back to it, which is that on that page in the will, there is a phrase that's in bold, which is that it's our uncle, like, I don't know, it's like he's expecting us, to solve the secrets of the mansion, and the thing that's in bold is the natural order of things. I've looked at this phrase in bold and gone, what does this mean? I didn't get it. However, this time, because I was going back through the will in its entirety in a kind of a slow way, like watching the footage, I now am pretty sure I know what this means, because before we get to this point, at an earlier point in the will, there's a section where he's talking about the angels, and he mentions them all by name. Now, previously, when I first looked at the will, I just assumed, oh, this is giving you the reveal of what all of the names are if you haven't got it, which probably, yeah. But this time I looked at it and I was like, no, hang on. What if there's something to do with the order in which he's writing these names? So that was already in my mind. And there's actually a phrase in it. There's actually a phrase just after this that says something like, there's often been controversy or questions around what the natural numeric order of the angels are. And so I was like, like at the time, like me in the past, when I was first discovering this will, I just went, I know what the order is, because I was assuming it was what we already knew in the church. But of course, me now, I'm like, oh, silly past Rebecca. Oh, naive past Rebecca. That's not what this is referring to. This is an entirely different order. This is a new thing. Our previous chapel order only involved it involved most of the angels, but not even all of them. This is all of the names in a certain order. So when I got to the bit where I then see that bold text later in the will, the natural order of things, I was like, get out of here. That's what this is about. I am so sure, and I could be wrong, but I feel so sure in my heart that this is an order that we need to, I assume this must be, we go to the tomb and we do these angel arms, we do the angel arms in the order that is written here, in the will. So it starts with, Arinda, Lydia, Rydia, etc. I've got it all written down here. Oh my God, I feel so excited about that. I just feel, when you don't know, and sometimes I am wrong about these things. Sometimes I'm really sure and it just turns out to not be the case. But this one just felt like, yes, like I can see the pieces. I can see the puzzle that's being put before me here. Like, that's what this is. So I would be really, really excited if I could manage to get Tomb today, actually, to try this immediately. And so to go back, I am hypothesizing that the manuscripts might be in the tomb, because he does say, I'm going to give you the manuscripts whether you make it to room 46 or not. So they're obviously not in room 46, but they could be in the tomb. They could be in the tomb. This could be what that is. So I'm really, really excited about that. Something else I've been playing with, except I don't know what it means, is just like, I still don't know what's going on with the realm, sigils that are written on the fireplace in room 46. I do note that they are, the way, the sequence in which they appear on the fireplace is almost the same as in the inner sanctum. I mean, I've known this for a while, but two of them, there are two pairs that are swapped around. So Erasia and Arch Aries are in a different order. and Vera and Morajai are in a different order. The problem is I don't know what to do with that, because unlike the angels, where like they have a very obvious arm mechanism that I know we can manipulate that is, you know, already related to puzzles, I don't know what to do with a sequence of inner sanctum sigils. Like if I have this sequence here, what do I do with it? Obviously I've already tried like clicking on you know, the things that are on the fireplace, whether they're lights or buttons or what, I don't know. Obviously for a long time I had convinced myself that they would light up once I got all 8 inner sanctum doors open, and so when that happened I was like, oh, okay, clearly I was wrong about that. That's not what it is. But now, yeah, if this is a sequence I have to use somewhere, I don't know where to use it, because the inner sanctum, you know, down there, oh, there's our package. The inner sanctum doesn't, like, it's not as if I can open those doors again, like in a different order, right? Like they open automatically. I mean, what else is there? You know, is it going in and like redoing the Morajai boxes? Surely not. Surely not. You jest a game. It can't be that, right? So yeah, I'm really not sure. Anyway, that's a big thing. I was very excited to tell you that. I've been working on a few other things here and there, including like revisiting the Alzara predictions again. And I'm even more, I won't say convinced, but I'm even more, I feel like there's even more evidence the more that I watch it that these Alzara predictions are not for me. The visuals are me imagining me. I think Simon is imagining Simon. But I feel like actually the words that Alzara is using are actually meant to be for Herbert. And there's a bit in the last one where he says, "My young Baron." Of course I thought that was for me. I've become a Baron at this stage. I'm Baron Simon. But now I'm like, no, I think he means Herbert. I think these are all for Herbert. They're all actually meant to be interpreted from Herbert's perspective. These are things that Herbert heard from Alzara, I think, to tell him things about his life, for him to interpret. Now I'm interpreting them in my own way, and certainly they are useful for me. But I feel like in some ways they're also throwing me sort of like on the wrong track in a sense. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Now, the big thing that I've been thinking about. Oh, so hang on, sorry. Just to follow that down one more time. I have been thinking, what does it mean that there are 8 coins available in Rumpus Room? Because there are not 8 predictions, right? But that would feel correct, wouldn't it? That room gives you 8 coins, so you can put a coin into Alzara 8 times. I don't know what that means. Maybe, could it possibly be that actually there is a way to speak to Alzara again? I don't know. But the other thing I thought, I was looking at that last one, and I might have mentioned this before because I have thought this before, but I thought more seriously about it this time. The thing we see in the Alzara prediction where he says like there's like a 1,000 lights or something in a hollow cavern. I'm now really seriously thinking, does he mean the gemstone cavern? Is there something else to be gotten in the gemstone cavern? It would make a lot of sense because we haven't done much there. So I don't know what to do. I'm pretty sure I have gone in there with the power hammer before, but like maybe I have to go in there with some different contraptions or something like that. I don't know, but I'm a bit interested to just kind of maybe try, like to consider the gem cavern a possible place of interest again. You know what I mean? All right. Okay. You know what I mean. Now, the big thing for today, here's what I've decided. Here's what I've been, because of everything I've learned about this whole Aries court puzzle, I am so determined to get this ASAP. So what I'm considering is, I've actually been through pretty systematically now to at least a lot of the previous episodes, and I've worked out what information I have available about where, what number of stars gives the Southern Cross. I know I need the Southern Cross, and I know I need to draft observatory to get this Southern Cross. Of course, what that means is that on the day I'm attempting to do this Aries court thing, I need to have one fewer star than what is necessary for the Southern Cross constellation. So currently I'm on 37. I knew I would be starting with 37 today. So I'm going to spend today preparing for tomorrow to be the correct day. If I can get 2 stars today, if I can end the day today with 39 stars from 37, then tomorrow I can do my utmost to draft observatory. That will get me to 40 stars. 40 stars has the 7 different constellations, which includes Southern Cross. So that means if I can do this today, tomorrow can be my day to try the Aries court thing again and quite possibly be successful with it. So I'm feeling really good about that. Now, of course, how do I get 2 stars on a day when I have resilience of the Rook, which means I can't get the Morning Star from the Armory? I think the simplest thing is just simply to get Planetarium and to call it a day in Planetarium, which adds 2 stars. Where are you, Planetarium? Planetarium, yay. So call it a day in Planetarium, gain 2 stars. That would take me from 37 to 39. So this is my main goal today, because if I can do that, everything else will be great for tomorrow. Of course, what I can do tomorrow is not pick up the allowance, so actually I don't, hopefully I don't need to deal with the money issue. Getting rid of the keys and the gems is not that much of a problem. All I need to do then tomorrow is make sure I get observatory. Really, that's the main thing. So today, if I can get Planetarium, we're really good. As a backup, what I could do today, if I really can't get Planetarium, what I could do is get observatory. So I won't do this. I'm not going to get observatory at all today to see if I'm able to get Planetarium, unless it really seems like it's not happening. Then maybe what I could do is get Planetarium, and which one is it? There's a certain room. Hang on. I should have had this written down. There's a certain room that Clara lets us know of in her sleep diary. It might be Ladyship's chamber, actually, off the top of my head. And if you call it a day in that room, she says, there was a new star in the sky after that. So that's the only other way that I can think of getting 2 stars. It is... I do think it might be Ladyship's chamber, which obviously, creates some... Yes, an additional star in the sky for calling it a day in Ladyship's chamber. Well, which is interesting because it's one of the experiments I wanted to try anyway. So, yeah. So that's my backup plan. But my first plan, and the thing I'm going to spend most of my time on, is let's see if we can get Planetarium today. However, again, if I can draft, a little bit in the day here, and a little bit in the early part of the mansion here, get some redraws. I'd really like to try and get Tomb in the outer room. So let's see how we go. I might go spare Veranda. Let's just get ourselves sorted with this nice ability of more items. Cool. There's a trunk waiting for us. So the other thing I need to do today, if I'm going to attempt Aries Court, is I must not finish today with the moon pendant. That's the other thing, because then I'll start tomorrow with no items. So that's the other thing. I don't even mind if I get, let's say Clock Tower Morning Room, because then I'll have more gems and more keys, but that's okay. They're easy to get rid of, and to be honest, I'm still going to need to do drafting to get observatory. So having keys, having gems tomorrow is okay, as long as it's not hundreds of gems. A certain amount of gems is good. It's good. But yeah, no. But ideally, let's not begin tomorrow with keycard or any other items as well. Okay, but it's absolutely excellent that we have the lockpick today. That's cool. I can't use it here though. However, I do have 3 keys, so let's do it. Hey, oh great, okay. Well, that's already pretty good. 2 redraw die. Maybe that's enough to try. But I'll do a little bit more drafting. Let's see how much we can get. Well, walk-in closet is already a pretty good bet. It's already a pretty good bet for getting redraw die. Like how... Let's redraw, because... no observatory. No observatory, I can't do it today. Let's redraw it away. It's going to keep popping up. This is going to be the hard thing. I have to be really careful. It's going to keep popping up. Treasure Trove obviously is just a great win for the day, but I am fairly confident we'll see it again. You know, like boudoir would be really good because we know we'll get 2 redraw die from it. Otherwise, like... Yeah, commissary. I realised that I haven't picked up my allowance because I was like practicing not picking up the allowance. I need to make sure I do that tomorrow, hopefully. Commissary could also just be a good start to the day, but I'm just going to try for the next one. Okay, that's fine. These are all good. So let's go for a lab. Yeah, let's go for lab, even though it uses a gem. Because we get our we get our experiments, etc., and all of the other things. One other thing, I do have this on my phone. I could have checked this already. Planetarium is a standard room. Yeah, so I don't think... I was thinking, like, would it be good to get solarium to increase the chance of planetarium, but actually it is standard. I'm glad it's standard, because I want it more and more. I want it more and more. Okay. Okay, chest, lockpicking skills. These are sort of the main things that would be useful. I might just do lockpicking skills. I'd love to get to whatever the next skill level is for that. I don't want to do either of these today. It's just setting today up to be too difficult. So I'm going to do apple. We're going to do apple. Cool. So whatever we get, we'll consider like a nice bonus for the day. All right. We will log into the network, and we've got the key card, so we can increase the security settings. Wonderful. All right, oh, I have another one. So exciting. Somebody got in trouble. Somebody gave a spoiler. Oh my God. They're upset. Anne is so angry at somebody. Who posted that? I'm almost positive that Sinclair, while tolerant of moderate hints, explicitly told us not to provide full solutions to any of his puzzles. Oh my God, Anne. I'm totally... I really respect that. Obviously, on this channel, I work hard to, try to avoid spoilers, from myself in my life as well. So I can completely appreciate that. I wonder. Oh no. I'm going to have a sip of this so-so coffee. I wonder who posted that. Hilarious. Who would it have been? Who would have done this, personality-wise? I mean, Randolph has given us a ton of hints. So that's one way of thinking it could have been him. However, he has also been he's tended to be very thoughtful with the hints that he's been given. And he's tended to be to keep in mind, like, what Herbert would have wanted. So, I don't know if he would have done that. Maybe Kimberly. Maybe Kimberly. Because she seems enthusiastic to help, right? Hang on a second. Has this dynamically updated since I originally read it? Oh my God. I think it has, because I'm pretty sure it originally said I had 14, because I've since found another one. I definitely have this. I definitely have this saved because I have photos of all of this on my phone. So February 4th. Here we go. Yeah, it has. So that's so interesting. This is actually, that must mean that just in the programming of this game, this is set to simply check how many upgrades have you received, not to check at the time that you first get this mail. Wow. Interesting. That's so funny. I love that. Thank you, Anne. Thank you for doing your best to to keep things working the way that you envision they ought to be. Amazing. Okay, so we'll remote terminal access. We'll get security again. Thank you. Thank you, security. There's not going to be anything yet. Oops. One down. Keycard system, security level, high please. Excellent. Alright, we're good. We're good. I don't think there's anything else in here. Okay, 2 redraw die. Let's just see if we can get any more relatively easily. Possibly 3-bedroom closet. But I think I'd rather get workshop here. Honestly. I don't know if this has ever been my workshop item before. Okay. Next. The problem is, of course, if I am going to need to rely on Ladyship's Chamber, I shouldn't do any more drafting here. So, so at the very least, let's just get a parlor because I'm really going to need the gems, aren't I? Okay. No items. Thank you. All right. Nice, quick and simple one for me today, please. The gems are on the floor. They are not. Lie. The gems are in this box. Who knows? The gems are on the desk. All right. So, false. I did ask for an easy one, and it delivered. Just outright lies. So this is the only one that's true. The gems are in this box. Yay! All right, great. That was nice and easy. So I can go here because this is not going to do anything to the west wing. Well, maybe let's just get another. Not another. Let's get break room here. Okay, we'll do this. We'll get some kind of key. Okay, so fairly simple. 8 divided by 8. So I know this is simple, but I'm just keeping things. I'm getting my calculator up just to avoid me making a mistake. 8 divided by 8 multiplied by 20, which is 20, and then subtracting 8 to get 12. Nice and simple. Oh, nice and simple if you click in the right spot. Okay, all right, so these ones are doubles, but we're starting with 2, and then we're going up here. So multiplied by 40, rounding to 100, 80 to 100. And then this one next, so subtracting 40 to get to 60, and then dividing by 20 to get to 3. Yay. Couple of keys. Nothing to sneeze at. Alright, might as well turn back here. Thank you, everybody. This is a really nice solid start to the house. Solid house start today. We got that. No other items yet? Okay. Alright, today is the day that we can have our allowance, so let's pick that up. Oh, well, conference room's pretty good here. Yeah, what an interesting... I don't normally get a shape like this. This is quite good. Conference room. Any nice little things for me? Not that I can see. Okay, so this is a great spot for a dead end if we're lucky enough to know. Oh, I knew that would happen. I knew I would get like the offer of like rooms that have really interesting exit patterns. All right, so let's put another parlor here and just get some more gems. Okay, the black box is not empty. This is the black box, so this is false. This is the black box, so this is false, so this is the only true one. The black box is not empty. The black box indeed then has gems in it because it's telling the truth. It feels really nice that they do this. Like after such a long time, you know, in the mansion working on these puzzles, it's like you get a break. You get a break. Okay, let's try from here. So... okay, they're all going east. Well, I suppose I could just put bedroom closet here. Alright, cool. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Sledgehammer and a redraw die. Okay. That's excellent. So that helps even more with the possibility of tomb. Now, might as well just do a little bit down here. Well, this would be great if I get tomb, but for now, let's put drawing room here. Any other items for me? Just my little gem, which could be a real ruby. It could be a real ruby. Well, I suppose it's not a bad place for dining room. I definitely prefer to have dining room up the top, but well, that's it. Let's redraw. Okay. I might, even though it wastes an exit, I might put den here just to go straight up. Cool. And oh, excuse me. And let's see what we can get in the rookie redrafty corner here. Okay. So I don't really think I need a solarium for planetarium, so let's just use the redraws. Boudoir would be great for the redraw die. However, kitchen could also be a really good one for here. Definitely not observatory. Not observatory. I hope that you don't... Oh no, I've just thought of a bad possibility. What if planetarium requires observatory before it even shows up? I wonder if it could work that way. If so, then that is a thorn. What do you say? Let's just say that's a problem with my plan, if that's the case. It's not the case. I was immediately... Okay, great. Yay! It's the exact thing I wanted today. It's the exact thing. Oh, brilliant. So brilliant. Yes. Planetarium, yes. Okay. So all we have to do is call it a day in here at the end of the day. Not to draw... This is the next important thing. Not to draft observatory for the whole day. And call it a day in here. Great, my lockpicking skill's gone up. I can get whatever is in here. Secret garden key. Wonderful. Could it have been better? So good. So good. The day is looking bright. The day is looking bright, my friends. I can't dig the dig spot yet. Let's just check. Yeah, so obviously I have all of this information here about the constellations, which is great for the early constellations. I have all of them written down. 5, 13, 16, 25 have the Southern Cross. I also know from my own footage that 32 and 36 also have it, and that 40 has it. I suspect that 55 has it. I have a few other numbers here which I know are days when the Southern Cross doesn't appear. But the problem is, because I've previously used experiments very successfully to get a huge amount of stars in a quick amount of time, I have in my own playthrough skipped being able to see what the constellations for certain star numbers are. So in a sense, while that was great at the time, I now don't have that information. All right, I might just do the draft here. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. My plans are all coming together. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, it just seems like let's definitely do boudoir. Yep. Let's do boudoir. We'll have 5 redraw die. That is a really comfortable, lovely number. And let's head out. Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. This is great. This is great. I had no idea I'd be able to get... I haven't even opened this yet. What a fool. 2 chips. Too many plans, too much excitement, too much going on. Wonderful. That's great. Okay. So if I can get Tomb, I don't know. I just got to tell you, this might not be it, but I feel really good about it. If this isn't it, if this turns out to not be the thing, then let's redraw. Shrine is another really good one, but I really want to try this. The other thing is that I don't know if having a blessing will affect my Aries court attempt. So, yeah. Great, this is what I'm after. Even if this isn't it, I'm still fairly convinced that working out what the natural numeric order of the angels is a thing. So whether it's this order that was written in the will or not, we'll see. We shall see. Oh ho 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 ho. What's great is that I will also get a couple of redraw die here. Thank you. So I've got the list right here. It is Arindia is the first one. My little money. Okay, so Arindia, you're going to be number 1. Cool. All right. Now Lydia is number 2. Lydia is the horse person. I don't actually know where they all are. So that's Mila. That's Dowager the farmer. Got to note there's a few dig spots in here. I know that this I know that this is Joya because I am so focused on Joya right now trying to figure out this cryptograph, and I have thought, like, could it be that there's something going on with this Joya and like the slab that she's on? I don't know. So either way, I know where Joya is. I've been thinking about Joya. That's... Oh, no, sorry. No. This is the farmer. This is Dowager. The other one is what is it? Rydia, the gardener. That's Arindia. No one in here but Simon. Where are you, horse one? Let's go and get the key while we're here. Item. A little rose. Alright. Come on, horse angel. No, you are the paragon of ash. This is uncle. You know what? No, is this Dowager? God, now I need to... which one is Dowager, which one is Rydia? Hang on, I have the I have the picture. I have the picture to fall back on. I have the pic, you know, I have multiple pictures. I have the church, things going on in the church. I have the gardeners. Here we go. Rhina, sorry, Rhina. not Rydia from, or Lydia from Final Fantasy IV. I called her Rydia when I was young playing it because it was, you know, I didn't know how to pronounce it. Rhina is not... Rhina has the hoe, so that must be Dowager. This must be Rhina. Okay. Where is the horse one? Where's the horse one? There's none here. Myla. Ah, here! You're hidden around here. Okay, so Lydia. Lydia, you are number 2. 3 is Gardner. 4 is Joya. Joya. Thank you. Next is Dowager. Farmer. Next is Ash. Via. Yep. Next is Maid. Myla. And next we have to do Draxus. So this is really cool because the first time we did this with the chapel sequence, it didn't involve... Obviously we had to do this to find Draxus. Oh, that's so... Oh, it's... Oh, hello. Hang on. At first I thought this is the hidden one from the chapel, but like surely no way because it doesn't actually look like this. We can see parts of it. Wow. This is the manuscripts. This is the manuscripts. Oh my god. I was so right. Ah. It was just there in the will this whole time. But there you go. Finally. Huh. That is so cool. My god. Oh my god, that looks amazing. I would love to have this in my house. That is badass. And of course, we get the death 8. The death 8. Ha. Hang on, I'm taking a photo of this for my records. Oh, that is such good. That is so good. And check it out. Draxus is holding, for absolute sure, the cursed effigy. Draxus got the cursed effigy. Draxus, did you kill General Teskin? I'm so curious about this. Okay. Ooh, alright, hang on. I do not... Alright, we need to come back with the magnifying glass. Oh, the Red Prince. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown of rubies and a red castle made of stone. I wonder if the whole thing with this could be that... Because we've used this text in our new clue puzzling. I wonder if it's possible that this different version, you know, potentially this is a different enough version that it changes the new clue, you know? I'm actually just bringing it up to remember, like, which... Here we go. Which word did we get from Red Prince? Scorched, in fact. No, sorry, turn. Yeah, I was like, that doesn't make sense because the word scorched doesn't appear in this. No, turn. Well, that, you know, that's not going to change much, is it? So, there was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true colour, the prince often said. I look at, so one of the things that I'm kind of, my brain now focuses on is, do I ever come across text that is in quotation marks? Because I'm still trying to figure out what "there is a letter missing from the blue memo in the pantry" means, and it's so notably written in quotation marks. So I thought maybe if I find a phrase, you know, and there are a few about the place written in quotation marks, maybe that's telling you this is what it refers to. So it could be this phrase, and I believe "true," you know, even here it looks a little bit standouty. I think it's also in bold in a red print, so it could be that. If there is a letter missing in the word "true," like what could that mean? What could that be? Alright, I'm just literally bringing up like an anagram solver to see like what words are, what 5-letter words include the letters "true." Truce, tuba, tuna, trua, utter, brute. Yeah, nothing that seems interesting at all. Erupt. And that's obviously with the words in a different order. Trude, truer. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like a thing. Not doing it that way. Ah ha ha. Oh look, this is what I always knew from the very first time I saw this page. I knew these colors mattered. Way back when I first saw it, I didn't know what these colors meant in this way yet. However, upon revisiting it, I've definitely thought like, yeah, like, you know, could these refer to the, you know, to the color, to the realms that the colors represent. So this is really cool to see them being really explicit about it. You know, the yellow, the canary is Arch Aries, the crow is Arinda Aries, the swan is Moragi, because Moragi is associated with white. However, this is troubling because this is yet a third place that I can associate with swans. You know what I mean? Like, I've been associating Clara and Mary and their relationship to Araja with swans because they wear the swan necklace. I know that Baroness is from Trinsdale, which is associated with swans, and now Moragi is also associated with swans. Ay. Okay. And he never looked up, but it does seem like they're telling you this to be very explicit, right? Like, I mean, the thing that comes to mind is, you know, the sacred poem that we see, for example, in the Clock Tower, where, you know, there's mention of swans. There's, what else? Yeah, southward I see a swan, which again, southward, so you would think Iraja. And there is a crow mentioned eastward, which might just mean because they refer to Arindia as the east when you consider it on the globe. It's the east sphere. It's in the east sphere, so it might just mean Arinda Aries is in the east. But I still don't know. I still don't know about it. I still don't know what to think about it. All right. Ah, interesting picture. He had heard that the sky, underline, was not a red hue. He didn't see the birds or the changing of the leaves, and he never saw the sights of life's many symphonies. So this is the original. Lovely. It's lovely to see her original drawing for this, you know, beautiful, original, more meaningful version of the book. Ah, interesting. Hello? This seems very symbolic. He couldn't see beyond the red shade he was aware. He never caught a glimpse of the world I had to share. So someone is holding some kind of bird that... What bird is this? What bird is this? What bird is this? Like, I could imagine it being a baby peacock, and it's probably going to be associated... So, you know, they're telling us the birds are associated with colours, right? Okay, I'm just taking photos of everything. The birds are associated with the colours. We've got canary, crow, and swan represented here. I mean, these are probably more crows. I can't imagine them being something else. If this is meant to represent Mary herself, you know, with him looking down, not listening to what she's trying to show him, then perhaps she's representing, you know, purple, violet. Maybe this is a purple bird. But I don't know what it would be. Aha! Hey! Some colour. But one day the prince saw something new, and if you look closely, you might see it too. Yeah, I see a big purple butterfly. Interesting. So it's interesting that in her plans here, she's coloured this one. Yeah, I suppose just to make it clear, like, you know, make this one, you know, remember we're making this one blue, like, make it prominent. The skies parted and the clouds withdrew. The prince had a new favourite colour. The colour blue. Beautiful, Mary. Beautiful. I so wish that this is the one that the world could have seen. It's so... I'm still really thinking about what blue means. Like, so much of our family has been associated with black. Arinda Aries and its heritage, and that has been, I suppose, the primary, the important, the meaningful color that we're sort of trying to get at. However, I guess Mary's thing is Mary herself is also a little, like, Mary's fighting against, you know, Fen and the Red State. Mary is certainly fighting for her family as well and for this heritage. However, we've also seen her be quite cynical about it in her own right and talk about, you know, the whole holding hands and throwing stones thing. So maybe Mary's whole thing is like let my son be blue, his own new thing, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. All right. A new clue. Oh my God. I'm almost overwhelmed just thinking about the original manuscript for this. My God. So this is this is going to be so incredible. How many memos should be visible? Root instead? Yeah. Yep. There you go. Platform 8. Platform 8. Which, by the way, what is platform 8? Just let me double check on my metro map. 8 is Royal Station. Oh yeah, okay, so that indeed is where we go. Okay, that's the one with the safe house. Huh. Cook, maid. So Joya and Mila is another way of thinking about that. All he needed was to find... And by the way, hang on, I'm also just noting, this is blue pen. Blue pen is underlining... it's not the only instance of blue pen, but there's actually really not much in this game. So this, to me, makes me think that indeed the note we see in the root cellar, no sign has been found yet, which we know is written in Mary's handwriting. That's written in black pen, but sign is underwritten in blue. pen, so it makes me feel like it's possibly this blue pen. All he needed was to find a new clue. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. If he knew what to do, he'd likely find two. Huh. Interesting. For you are looking for a new clue too. But the crossed out is, for clues come together like a pair of new shoes. Thank you, Mary. Look, I knew I would be finding something else. I knew I'd be finding many things from this book, but depart, is it departures that is crossed out there? Suspect list needed. We'll add in final illustration. Dead herrings. Aha. Oh, hello. So she's called them dead herrings, as in red herrings, maybe saying, these are things that don't matter. Medium gate. Hang on, this is blowing my mind a little bit. What am I taking from the fact that he has a medium gate? So, some kind of relevance in the drawing room? I've always been sus about that big picture that's over the fireplace, for absolute sure. Like, there must be something with it. So maybe this is related to that. Double check with Kirk about documents. So he had retraced his sketches and studied the files, rewritten his theories, and gone through the piles of the evidence shown to nobody. Oh, this is quite different. Of the evidence shown to God only known, to nobody known. And retraced his steps as it stretched on for miles. Wow. There, you literally swap the king with the rook. Swap the king with the rook. Huh. Wow. Too much. Overlap with clue in the secret passage. There's numbers written on this one. I was always like, what the hell is going on with this brick? I've written it down. It was I wrote this down in my notes, like, about this brick, and I was looking at like the grid pattern on it. Hang on. Oh, I really need the magnifying glass. I think it says like 3001 or 3007 maybe, but that's a bit too small for me right now. Oh my god, there's so much new stuff here. I'm also going to have to double check that these numbers here are the same. And in fact, yeah. He had checked every space. So checked is different, searched, and every space. Okay. It does feel like there's a message here about, because I've always, like, obviously just in the text they tell you about like checking every space, and I think it actually says like in this particular case or something like that. So it feels like they're really emphasizing, definitely check the tomb. However, it's hard to know if that means anything more than, because we've already found so many new spaces in the tomb. So it's sort of like, well, is that what is meant there, or is there something else? I mean, I'm always ready to find new stuff in tomb, always. Note to publisher, insert small case numbers barely visible between the marked words above. You're trusting the publisher to get this right. Oh. Yeah, there we go. All right. Replace fork with something connected to 10. I always had that one from the beginning. I always, understood that this seems to be indicating 10 steps. Whether it's 10 steps or just 10 something though, I don't know. But I guess they had the fork here because it's like relating to Tanner fork. He looked and he looked under beds and in nooks. Too obvious? And why the X there? I mean, you know, obviously nook, the actual room nook is one of the first things I thought of. But, yeah. What's crossed out there then? I really need the magnifying glass. He questioned the maids, he questioned the cooks. It was already over when he spoke to the chauffeur, who told him new clues were found only in books. I don't know why there's a comma there. It was already over, comma, when he spoke to the chauffeur. Maybe just for the rhyming pattern. Cuckoo 2. These cuckoo clocks have been driving me absolutely cuckoo. There we go. Yeah, so I know a new clue, Uncle Orr. Yes. Tender cipher. Luna renamed Uncle Orr, draft the sixes. Those are the same. So she changed, I think she changed so to and. Tome after tome that the library loaned and the books that he had that he already owned were searched from their covers all the way through, colours. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. It feels like this is sort of explaining about the puzzle, the nature of you know, the book puzzle in the first place. Ah, wow. Okay, hello. That's an interesting one. This originally had denoted inverse in it. And, okay, so this, how would I'm reading this as saying, with the arrows coming from denoted inverse, that this, like everything else, is a hint to swap these letters around. Obviously, I know this relates to other, you know, denoted inverse changes to does it never end, changes to investor needed. Like, but I don't know what else I can change this into yet. I have to spend some more time with this, but all right. Okay. I will spend even more time with this. Okay. Because if I, like, I've put, you know, all of these letters into like an online anagram finder because it's just too many. It's just too many. And it comes up with loads and loads and loads. But looking through this huge list of possible things, it's just, nothing stands out as being like, aha, you know, this must be the phrase you're actually meant to find. It's just all kinds of, you know, tenderized oven, deserved intone, seated inventor, dinnered vetoes, intervened, you know, does, reinvented does, severed intoned, nosedive rented, deed inverse not. Like, there's things that are interesting there. Like, you can definitely make the word deed, but I can't find another possible phrase necessarily. You know what? I've just got to spend more time with this because it's so many letters. It's so many letters. Yeah. It definitely does seem... Deed does seem like one of the things to investigate, the possibilities of a phrase you can make with deed in it. Needed comes up. Tended, deserved, deserted, seeded, indeed. I don't think it's going to involve denied, you know. Destined, deride. All right, I will spend some more time with that. Let's go on. He changed all the letters in the lines that he found. Lines as in ranks or... I have so many notes wondering about all of this. I have all of this written down in my notebook, like in terms of how to interpret this, how to interpret all of these things. So he checked all the colors for each key that he wound. Oh. A nod to my uncle's parlor game. Huh. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting, as my mother used to call me. Yeah, Mary, we got that. Mary, Mary. And found that the diction of each word was sound. Is that unending? Unending homophones. Yeah, that was one of the most interesting lines to me. I have, I have that written down and like underlined, like, as it being like a huge thing to, to look at different interpretations that can come from the sound of the words. But it didn't really get me anywhere. Gates, cool. I'd already figured that one out by the time I came to a new clue. Mary sounds like Mary. That's been useful, but, right. I haven't figured out really where to use that particular one. Okay, so I got to come back to this for sure. He stayed up all night and studied the maps. He laid out the floor plans and measured the gaps. This one drove me mad because I really felt, originally I really felt like what this one is telling you is that you do something with the directory and with the room plans. And, I was thinking all kinds of things like, do you have to put the rooms in like a certain order to sort of create like a pathway? Is it about like, which rooms have hidden things in the gaps, etc. However, so I'm very interested in what's going on here. And if his directory was considered a trajectory, it was nothing short of a full mental lapse. From what I was told, I believe Margle's directory is currently 22 rooms short of completion. No cause for concern yet, as Uncle has thankfully removed Pump Room from the draft pool. Wow. That's interesting. 22 rooms short of completion. And she's actually drawn the rogue moon in there. So I guess maybe it was him attempting to get to room 46, but he was unable to because he didn't have pump room. He couldn't get the north lever open in the reservoir, and throne room presumably was up on the mountain, so he wouldn't be getting the alternative lever either. But I wonder what the relevance to the 22 rooms short, if that has relevance. A man obsessed and cuckoo too, they would say as he would wander through, the best medicine is not yet evidence. This line has been one of the lines that has bothered me the most in reading this book. Because why? Because just why anything about it? Why would you say this? The best medicine is not yet evidence is what's in the published book. However, if we take that, I was just like, it doesn't make any sense really to say this, it's just so out of place. But I didn't know how to imagine its meaning. But if we change it to the best medicine is not yet evident, the best medicine is not yet evident. So the best medicine will become evident. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. Okay, all right. There is so much to ponder here. And having read this over so many times, having scoured over each of the lines, have you exhausted your search? Have you seen all the signs? 1 per page. Yes. Right. I did see those signs. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Major. Ma is written big now. So I had figured out with the Eurasian that I think major seems to relate to quite a lot of things, to be honest. But I guess one interpretation is small name, which could mean the Boli is a shorter name. Metro, show the entire route. Okay. So maybe again, this is sort of her trying to show us the route that we used from the metro as a key, which is connected with the XYZ stuff. Okay. Or is there perhaps something... Oh, due. Something due? As in the library? Something overlooked but now in view. Yes, I know about the notes. Typed, handwritten, typed. The suspect is, yeah. Remove sign from this final illustration. Okay. Have you really found it? Could it finally be true? If it's a new clue, you know what to do. Remind Randolph to set this up before we leave. Oh, excuse me. Hello. This one actually has... Hang on. This one actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters and starts with A. Hang on. Well, I mean, I guess that just makes the word admin, right? Is it just saying the suspect is an admin key, which I found? But is it possibly that in itself is a different key? Or is it just the clue, it's an admin key? Okay, all right. Wow, amazing, absolutely amazing. Got to come back here with the magnifying glass. That was, thank you, Draxus. Oh, I'm so pleased. I felt so confident about that. It all clicked together. I'm so pleased that this worked and that I was able to try it out today. Oh my goodness. All my dreams are coming true. The angel Draxus points to my dreams. He points to my dreams, or they point to my dreams. She points to my dreams. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Wow. I have a whole new clue to puzzle through again. So maybe there is indeed a second message that you get from that. Interesting. And so what was the word? So in that 4-letter message that we put together, turn came from Red Prince, sundial came from a new clue. However, I mean, that's just the publisher at the very beginning. Like, that's not going to be... Because I suppose if you take this draft and apply like the number pages and the number words, there's just simply not that number of words on this page. So maybe it means that, maybe it doesn't. Either way, all right. There's a lot to check out there. I need the magnifying glass to see what else is there, and even to see some of the things I can't see well there. So let's continue on. Let's continue on with the day. All right, Rebecca, just don't get observatory. That's all. Just don't get observatory. So I think let's go up from boudoir. We could potentially even just get the secret garden here. No. All right. Fair enough. Well, I'm going to put East Wing Hall here just so I can use the space below. let's go. One of the things that I've written down for myself, just saying this while it's here, I'm so curious if there are more things to open in Vault, especially now. Like, I always wondered that, and I keep wondering, like, could I find a key somewhere else, you know, in another dig spot or something like that. So I'm really interested about that. I don't think getting Vault will make any difference to that prospect or not, but it's just something I'm thinking about. And I have made a note to myself, like, I've talked before about how I'm really interested in using electromagnet in more places, but I'm now also interested in trying detector shovel in more places, because I suppose detector shovel says something like, you know, I can't remember the exact phrasing, I've got it somewhere, but it says something like can make it much more likely to get like keys and coins. And so I thought, well, maybe detector shovel, if you use that on dig spots, might be the thing to help you get unusual keys, you know, like file cabinet keys or something. So I guess there's no point to putting these here, right? Apart from the hallway doors are always unlocked. So it does use 3 gems though. I actually, let's just put it here. Let's just put it here. Like, maybe having Vault will make this happen. You know what I mean? Maybe simply having Vault will the presence of a new Vault key. Oh, treasure trove. Great. However, I'm confident that you are still going to appear, and I am a little worried about steps, so I'm going to do kitchen, actually. Sorry, treasure trove. I'll definitely be back for you. You're my main room. You're my main room. All right. Let's just get it. Let's just get it all. I wouldn't be opposed at all to getting morning room today, just to set us up tomorrow with a couple more gems, which I have to lose, but I need them in the meantime to try and get observatory. Oh, so exciting. I really feel like this can happen. Let's just use key. Thank you. All right, treasure trove is making itself available, and we are not touching observatory, so let's go this. Perfect. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. More treasure trove goodies. This is treasure trove box 32. It is a blue moon. Okay, let's use a key. Handwritten red. Ooh hoo hoo. Interesting. I love getting a handwritten. The sacred hour is not technically on the hour. Now that's an interesting one to get right before I do something tomorrow that involves the sacred hour. So, this feels like a very important one, I have to say. Does it mean that the sacred hour is the whole hour? Which is what I assume. Anyway, like, even though the clock tower puzzle initiates at the beginning of sacred hour, of course I assume the sacred hour is the hour. Oh, sorry. I realize what they mean by this, you know, using the phrasing of the clock tower puzzle. Yeah. They just mean that the sacred hour is not, it's not 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. It's 1:30. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that is true, and I know that. So I know this one. So we can call this true. The sacred hour is not technically on the hour. Okay. All right. Do I have any other rules for these? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll double check, but I think from what I have that is likely true. Do we have any reason to leave this? I might leave it just in case I decide I want to use laundry, change my money, and then come and get some more money. Okay, well... I guess let's do security. Doesn't hurt to check the inventory again. Trunk, apple, fruit, and I know where all of those coins are. Okay. Where is there a trunk? Where have I left a trunk? I got the one in spare veranda. I got the treasure trove one. I got the one in planetarium as well, I thought. I think that the dig spot is the only thing I left in planetarium. I guess I'm not sure. I guess I don't know. This is where the fruit is though. Excellent, lovely. Okay. Well, we might as well pop out here. Let's go commissary, because it's well time for commissary. Great. Okay, there's my shovel. Cool. Magnifying glass. Yes. And I'm gonna buy the set of gems as well. Great. I guess I might as well buy them all. Let's just get the gems. Let's get all the gems. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, maybe this could be my turnaround point anyway, to head up to Foundation from here. Let's just try for one more. No observatory. No observatory. Freezer would be a problem as well. I might redraw this spot. Aha. Well, maybe it's a day I can do another foyer experiment, like just for fun anyway. Yeah, let's put foyer. Let's put foyer. Okay. I might as well, I guess, see if I can get study to, to try and put something here that I want to experiment with. Okay, let's make this the turnaround point then. I wish I could pick up some of that money, but hang on, I can pick up some of the money, can't I? Yeah, of course I can. Of course, I just don't normally do this. I don't normally portion this up. Now that's perfectly fine, because if we get like showroom or something, we want to spendy spend. Great. Cool. And a little bit more. Nice. Okay. I like that. And also, what was the dining room thing? Trophy room. Works with trophy room. Good to know. Okay, so where... So there's a trunk somewhere. Not in vault, yeah? Look, I'm just gonna look because I don't wanna miss. I've never had a trunk in here. No trunk. No trunk. No trunk in here. I've never had a trunk in here either. We opened that one, but I can dig this dig spot now. I'm just going to do it. Coin. Okay, it'd be so good to be able to get telescope today. I would love that. Like, could this refer to, the gate in A New Clue? Maybe it's all just a hint about gates, like if you haven't figured that out yet. A clue for essentially this safe in this room. But, I mean, this is definitely not a medium gate. This is a big old gate. What would a medium gate be? That's a big gate. There's not really a medium gate, is it? That's huge. That's an enormous horse gate. Maybe this is the most medium gate then. Which just makes me wonder if it does ultimately refer to this. Maybe this room has a sacred hour thing. After all this time. There was no trunk in... I have to check. I don't want to miss a trunk. Ah, there's my tomb money. Cool. Yeah, we got everything in there. Alright, no trunks in here. We got this one. This one's been gotten. There's nothing in here. I really don't know. I really don't know what it's referring to. And there's nothing in here, but I'm going to do a bit of drafting here anyway. Oh, okay, well, I might as well put bedroom on this spot and just go one over, I think. Or passageway. Yeah, passageway. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So I'm thinking of trying to get Ladyship's Chamber anyway, for a couple of reasons. I suppose just because I know that there's most likely still an upgrade disc in there. I won't be able to call it a day there because I need to call it a day in Planetarium. And, I don't know, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just worth another look to see, like, what else could be going on in there. I guess none of this is hugely useful. Yeah, do Nook. I wouldn't say no to a couple of keys. Like, I don't have the master key. I just have lockpick kit, and that's not 100%. So, not by any means is that 100%. So there's probably something really interesting in Nook, but you know, I think that about everything. Let's do one more spot here. I guess it wouldn't be a problem to get pool, because I wouldn't say no to sauna today as well, to set up with some extra steps tomorrow. And then we get the trunks down here. Okay. I don't mind that. Car keys. Gem. More redraw die. Yes. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good. God, I'm only a couple of... Let's just see if we can make it to foundation at this stage, honestly. Alright, I think definitely throne room. Because I love throne room and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to get your measure, throne room. You know, could this be the slab that's in the cryptograph? I don't know. I don't think so. But it is a slab. It is a notable slab. But we actually won't be continuing on with the day for now. I'm sorry. I know my head popped up. You know what that means. We're going to be leaving this episode here and we're going to be continuing with this day in the next one. Hasn't it been freaking exciting though? I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you then. Bye bye.